Coming to you live from the palatial studios of PBJ Productions. Welcome to Patrick and BJ Talk Real Estate, where we talk about life, the universe, and everything as it relates to real estate. Hey everybody, it's BJ.
And Patrick.
And we're back talking all things real estate. And thank you for joining us again today. And if you haven't, please take a minute and subscribe to the channel, like the video. That just helps us get the word out there. And subscribe to our newsletter, right?
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. Keep up to date on what's happening with the Victoria and Vancouver Island market.
Yeah, and what's happening with us too. You can find out about.
We put stuff.
We put stuff on there, and maybe there's some deals we might put on there. There's something that you're interested in, so take a minute and do that. And then, what are we talking about today?
Well, I want to start off with talking about why some, and I want to talk about like our clients, like our experiences.
Okay. Yeah.
Why some of them have chose to leave Victoria. They would up and sell, and go wherever they might go, but. Yeah, you know, you've got quite a few years under your belt. I'm sure you sold people's houses where they left Victoria for whichever reason. Yeah. So I kind of want to go through some of those instances. Sure. Yeah.
I think the one that comes to mind immediately for me, it's been for clients that I've had. It was for family and to get closer to family, and especially if they're. I think of one case in particular, they're the grandparents.
They're the grandparents. Okay, yeah.
Right. So they want to get where the kids are and the grandkids, at least reasonable, location to them.
Assuming they might be retired.
Yeah.
They're not held down by employment location.
Yeah.
That kind of idea.
Yeah, they had a great place right by Shawnigan Lake.
So, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but for them, the family was more of a priority, and being around their grandkids was more of a priority. So that's one that comes to mind immediately right away.
Yeah.
I think another one, this one's kind of funny, but I know people have left because they've been like, there's nothing to do here.
There's nothing to do here. Are they... Okay, to each their own, right?
Yeah.
Like Victoria is a very like outdoorsy place. The weather's pretty good all year. Right, lots of athletes train here.
Yeah, but
like
at 9
it's a very physical.
But at 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock, everything's done.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Right. So if you're looking for a social nightlife, sports teams, concerts, the ballet or big plays and musicals, like we don't get that much here. Like we get the Nutcracker,
those. Right?
Yeah, we have those.
I dozed through the Nutcracker last year.
Oh boy.
With my daughter.
That's your tradition, right? You doze through whatever the Nutcracker, your Christmas thing.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, I like plays and I like theater and orchestra and those kind of things too.
Yeah.
But here's
but major league stuff and like really high end shows.
Sure. But here's a simple example. A friend of mine from high school was in town. I don't know, last week, and so we were. We were down by the harbor, and she wanted to go for a walk. So I said, "Yeah, that's great. Let's go for a stroll." It's the evening, and so we get to Fisherman's Wharf.
Yeah.
8 o'clock. Okay.
Everything's closed.
Everything's closed, or closing.
Closing.
Because we're like, well, can we get a coffee here somewhere? Since we all walked all the way here from.
Not even.
No, nada.
Even what's a pirate pizza?
Yeah, all of it was closed, or closed enough that they weren't making any more of anything.
Right, so that as it runs out, that's it. Like, yeah.
So there's a good example.
Oh, where did you end up grabbing a drink? You were asking me about like this is like what do you do at nighttime?
The Sticky Wicket.
You ended up at the Sticky Wicket, sports pub.
Yeah, and on the roof. It was nice.
Okay.
So it was, I got a really good piece of advice from Ruth. Who, if you guys have never seen it, Ruth and I have a podcast that is Age is Just a Number, so check that out. But so I did soda water and lime.
So yeah.
So because it's not a free day for me, so can't be any.
You can't be adding any extra calories, unnecessary calories.
Right.
Okay. So grandparents getting closer to the children, grandchildren.
Yeah.
Not that much to do. Like there's some things here, but like nightlife.
But in the evening, it's all over.
It gets pretty quiet pretty quickly, right? Except for a few bars, but anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got some. I'll go on the family one. I'll start there.
Okay.
Getting closer to parents. When, if there's health issues.
Yeah.
I've had people sell and move across country just to be closer to their parents, to take care of them. So there's been that.
Yeah.
This has probably happened to me. There's two of them that are about equal. Selling here after making so much equity in the market.
That was going to be my next one. Yeah.
The cost of living, and I could argue the cost of living for Victoria compared to like somewhere back east.
Okay.
We're not paying for 6 months of heat on our hydro bill or oil.
Yeah.
So it is. Other things are more expensive back east,
right,
than they are here. Here we sort of make up for it with like food, gasoline, like petrol for your car, and rent and house prices. But taking that equity has helped people move away from here, pay cash for a house somewhere, and then go down to one income instead of both.
Yes.
Husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend working, and being able to do it on one income. Just that's a real big change in lifestyle. Yeah, and that was going to be my next one too. Is that people have taken, as the song goes, take the money and run. Yeah. Right. Not to say that I haven't thought about it. Like, let's see if I sold my house now, what could I get in? I don't know, Montreal, right? Just somewhere else on the St. Lawrence River, somewhere. What could I get, right?
Sure.
A pool, some yard, big house, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And the last one was that my experience would be military and corporate transfers.
Yeah.
So people leaving.
Sure.
Funny that people would military transfer. They go back east somewhere, Halifax, typically Dartmouth. They'd buy there, and then 4 or 5 years later, they might even get transferred back, or they're retiring and they return back to Victoria.
Sure. Yeah. And
since our weather's nice.
Yeah.
But the challenge is they don't get the house that they had before, because they would lose equity, because the market tends to still either, if you're lucky, it stays pretty steady for a few years, or if you miss when the market goes up, then you're coming back to something that's maybe not in the same location. You have to go further out to get a home that fits your family. Yeah. So those are the ones I've got.
Yeah, I think that covers kind of my main ones. It was the family, it was the lifestyle that they, for whatever reason, didn't appeal to them. The cost of living / what they could buy somewhere else with the equity they had in their home.
Yeah.
I think those would be the main ones. And I hadn't thought of that, but the military transfer for sure. I've had clients over the years that have transferred in and I helped them get a place, and then they transferred out and we sold their place. And you can, like you said, there's a lot more, depending on which market you go to, there's a lot more available at what you have in your genes when you leave here with the equity that was in your home.
I had the fewest amount of people leave for job opportunities, I would say.
Yeah.
You might be able to get, or they keep their house here and they work in Fort McMurray and then come back after 6 months of working, that kind of thing. And so I think people still have a hard time leaving, even if it's a better opportunity somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it has to be a real corporate, like you're climbing the ladder to leave.
Yeah.
I think.
And especially, the weather is a big part of it too, right? Like, if you're
There's a lot of reason to stay,
right? If you're going to pick something, Fort Mac, you said, or Edmonton, or I grew up in Alberta, so Fort Mac or Edmonton. If you're not used to that, give that a try in the winter and see what that feels like. And it's not all winter, but just the fact that here the average temperature in winter is 5 degrees, and the average temperature I think in Edmonton is probably in the minus 12 to 20, somewhere in there.
It's like minus a million compared to here.
Right.
Right. Because we're just not used to that cold. Right. Yeah.
So, I think those are probably the main ones. I think in going with there's nothing to do, some people like to see stuff like sports stuff, or they like to see, I've had people that are like, I want to go see whatever, and you can see junior hockey here, and you can see the Harbour Cats for baseball and stuff like that, but they wanted to go to a bigger
Right.
deal.
If you're a major league sports fan,
Yeah.
then they don't really come here.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah.
Right. People are flying out to Seattle or Vancouver to go see those games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of it. I think that's kind of it, right?
That's all I got.
That's all we've got for that one. But thank you for joining us. Again, take a minute and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome. We'll see you in the next video.
See ya.